somewhere. I'm not around home, but I just got this update that there is a video that is going online where Johnson Sakaja was actually fighting, almost nearly fought with Margaret Wanjiru over a microphone during a political rally that Mudavadi and Moses Masika Wetangula were actually holding or leading in the Westlands. So what do you think is really going on? Because I think these are some of the effects, or rather effects of what we have been discussing. They are contradicting issues between Amani National Congress and also UDA party. So I think this is just a tip of the iceberg. It just shows us that we are going to expect a lot of this from these fellas. Of course, we're not sure what exactly really happened, but according to the report that I received, because I have actually watched that video, I've actually realized that what happened is that Margaret Wanjiru was addressing the crowd, and the MC of that time was Sakaja. So Sakaja was tasked to call the aspirants so that they can address the crowd. But again, one thing led to the other, and it seems there was that disagreement, because when Margaret Wanjiru was actually addressing the crowd, it seems, the crowd were a little bit charged, and they were charged because these were two leaders who are eyeing the same position. So when Sakaja actually said that the aspirants should not take a lot of time, and now that is what brought over that issue of that fracas. So we are still following up, guys, exactly what that meant. But then you can, in this video, I wanted just to look at critical analysis, what really is bringing that unrest within Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Now, one thing I want to mention here is UDA and ANC are not having any pact. I want to believe that there is no tangible agreement there in terms of how they are going to change, they are going to take positions, and also how they are going to take the nomination slots. The biggest headache between William Ruto and Musalia as of now, if in any case it's the gentleman agreement, then on who is going to be the next Nairobi governor. Because if they don't take it very careful, then the top seat is going with Azimio la Umoja. And of course, if you look at it carefully, William Ruto doesn't have a very strong base in Nairobi CBD, but Musalia Mudavadi has the biggest. So in this analysis, I wanted to look at what exactly is my view in terms of what happened in Westlands. So guys, if you're watching this video and if you're not yet subscribed, take a second and subscribe. And I also want to give you a few seconds so that you watch that video here, so that when I come back, we are going to delve deep and just try to look what exactly is happening at the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. The question is, why do you think Musalia Mudavadi, having known that also Johnson Sakaja was eyeing the same position with Margaret Wanjiru, he still accepted Johnson Sakaja to be the MC of the event? I think that is why that thing happened. Because if both of them were eyeing the governor's seat and you allow one person to introduce the other, what only that means is that there is sort of insubordination. So from what I understand, I think Margaret Wanjiru supporters also felt like that was a direct endorsement by Musalia Mudavadi. Secondly, does it mean that Musalia Mudavadi cannot hold a successful rally alone? Remember this rally, it was a Nairobi held rally, and it is the first rally that Musalia Mudavadi was holding alone after that new merger. Now, the other rallies, they have been doing joint rallies with William Ruto. And I think in my other video that I analyzed in the morning, I said that it was high time for Mudavadi to hit the road alone, so that he could actually, in my analysis, I said that the first place he was supposed to go to was supposed to be Western. But then I think he's also getting that opportunity to understand what is happening. So does it mean that Musalia Mudavadi cannot hold a rally alone without William Ruto? That is the question that, again, you need to ask yourself. Now, secondly, just due to that fight, do you think that they have yet agreed on who is going to take that slot, or they are going to put these people to joint nomination? Because as of now, if the UDA and ANC team have agreed on who is going to fly the gubernatorial ticket and the senatorial ticket, I think we wouldn't have seen such drama. Because for now what they need, they are voices of dissent and division narrative within the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. So with such coming in board, what this tells you is that there are no coherence there, and the issue of the nomination or on who is going to take which seat, it's going to be a big deal. Another impression, the impression here is that they have not yet agreed, and the nomination slot is becoming a thorny issue in the way to form that coalition. Now, another thing that we also want to look at, this campaign was being held in Westlands, and William Ruto was not attending, but UDA, other principals, other leaders, other legislators around UDA, in UDA and ANC were actually attending. The fact that really Mudavadi could not come up and even bring the calm, because the person who actually played the gentleman's role is still Sakaja. So Mudavadi needed to take charge and make sure that he stamps his authority. Does it mean that even if there is no William Ruto, does he have powers over the other UDA MPs and ANC? Or he's swinging to what these other legislators are saying? Because I think if this was a rally, and I want to say here, not that I support William Ruto, but if this was a rally that William Ruto was in charge, I think someone who would have really received the bashing of his day. Even if it is Sakaja or Wanjiru, I think William Ruto could have stamped his authority. So one thing I'm also realizing is that Mudavadi is not stamping his authority. Does he really have a voice? And does ANC really have a voice? Because the issue of that altercation between Wanjiru and Sakaja happened right mbele yake. He was seeing whatever was going on, even though they are now going to sit down and see what exactly are done and what they have done, whatever had happened, but the damage is already caused. It is just a matter of now playing one for the gallery. Now, another thing I also want to question is the planning of that rally. Now, one thing you normally know, guys, and I want to make you understand, before politicians even go to rallies, they normally sit down, they plan. So you are going to be the MC at this point, you're going to do this, you're going to say this, you're going to say this. So how was this planning? Because I think I have ever seen that when they are holding these rallies within Nairobi, William Ruto normally takes charge. William Ruto calls these MPs to come and talk and actually tells them, ongea kidogo. So the fact that Sakaja was the person who was given to call the leadership, was this an Kenya Kwanza rally, or was this an ANC rally? Because I think if it was well organized to prevent such, he would have picked two MCs, one from ANC, one from UDA, so that there is that voice of the balance. So that is something that is really coming out to see that maybe I think planning of that rally was literally poor. Even if you see the turnout, it was just, you reach somewhere, you reach Kengemi, you sprout from the car, then you find people. But then I think because that place, the person who is eyeing the seat, the Westlands parliamentary seat, is Nelson Harvey, I tend to think that maybe Nelson Harvey is the person who organized it, but Nelson Harvey is on the other side of UDA. So it is also a question of what is really coming out. Now, lastly, let's ask ourselves a question that William Ruto side and Musalia Mudavadi must sit down and find an answer. Between Johnson Sakaja and Margaret Wanjiru, who do you think can deliver that seat? Now, in my own position, I think if you ask me, they should get a candidate that is perhaps allied towards Musalia Mudavadi a bit, but not more of William Ruto, because William Ruto doesn't have the numbers in Nairobi. So if he is going to front Margaret Wanjiru, then you remember Margaret Wanjiru is a UDA candidate. William Ruto is depending on the Kikuyus in Nairobi to vote in Margaret Wanjiru. But then if you front a candidate like, I don't want to mention Johnson Sakaja, but let us say an ANC candidate that it's perhaps a Luhya or a Luo or someone, the advantage in that is he's going to now face off with Azimio la Umoja. If Azimio la Umoja is now a coalition of a little bit Raila and Uhuru, they can attract the Kikuyu vote on their side. So if you give a candidate that is on the other side, a Luhya or a Luo, it is going to give Azimio a run for their money. So I think as they think there, it's going to be a trouble. But one thing that I've realized, this is just a tip of the iceberg, as I mentioned. The issue of the nomination slots at the Kenya Kwanza Alliance is going to break that alliance into pieces. If they are not careful, this is just Nairobi and this is just governor's seat. We are yet to go to Kakamega, where Boni Khalwale and Cleophas Malala is eyeing the same ticket. We are yet to go to Trans Nzoia, where Bati Khaemba, I think Patrick Khaemba is a second-term governor, where there is a governor that is vying with UDA, and there is also someone who is eyeing the same seat with ANC, with Ford Kenya, in the name of Chris Wamala. So guys, that's my analysis, and you can also get to a comment section and tell us what exactly do you think about whatever happened there.